this week's episode of I Live for This podcast with your host, me, Trinity the Tuck, and this week's co-host is Shontelle Sparkles. Hi!
Hello! What's going on?
Well, I'm finally back from traveling, so I am exhausted. And talking with you is going to be even more exhausting. So I'll need I'll need
She's
a nap
already
after
throwing
this.
shade. I call shade.
But also we have our amazing special guest this week, and this is Loosey LaDuca. Hi.
It's actually Loosey LaDuca.
Oh, did I say DeLuca? I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
LaDuca.
She's already throwing shade.
Honestly, girl, it's fine. Rue literally did it for the first 2 full weeks of filming. She called me DeLuca. So don't worry about it.
Where do we get that from? There's got to be a DeLuca.
Delusion.
That's probably what it is. Oh yeah. Oh, the fans love calling me Loosey Delusional. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. How dare I be confident? That was stupid.
I love it. Well, I'm excited to talk with you both today. We have a beautiful, smart queen, Loosey, and then we also have Shontelle.
All air.
Girl, if anybody is able to see this, I don't know if it shows up, but you have our names underneath our video clips.
I know.
And
Don't even try to say it. I know.
and under Shontelle's out of drag name is Sean, but she spelt it Shab.
Yeah,
SHAWB.
Bitch, I knew. As soon as I wrote that and I said, girl, she's going to just go straight for the jugular.
Letters are hard. Letters are really hard.
Especially when you're old and you got fat fingers.
No. Shontelle,
Well.
I think this is just a precursor to your future. Loosey, just if you don't know much about Shontelle, years ago before I was on Drag Race, we traveled the world together with a band called Erasure. And I found out then that Shontelle thought Hawaii was a state. I mean, a country, not a state.
She drags this out forever, bitch.
I mean, it's true.
The beautiful country of Hawaii.
Listen, her drag mom, Jordan, she tells me all the time how dumb she is, so it must run in the family.
Hey, it's okay. We're all a little bit dumb. Look what we do for a living. It's fine. We're good.
Right. We're
classy,
delusional.
Before we dive into all of these topics today, Loosey, so I met you in Connecticut right before, I think before your season.
Yes. Yeah.
What was Club
The Shay. The Shay.
Yeah,
The Shay S in Hartford. That was, for years, that was my my home bar. I ran a brunch there for about 5 years called Brunch and Heels.
Ooh.
And we had you there. I think I had not yet filmed though.
Yeah, you hadn't filmed. No. But the same weekend that I met you is actually when I met my current boyfriend, Joey. He's from Connecticut. He's from
Oh,
really?
New Britain. Yeah. That's how I met him.
You met him the week that you met her?
Huh?
You met him the week that you met her?
Yeah, the same weekend. I went up there to work, and then I got on Grindr and met him there. And we've been together
lovely.
since. I know.
You got
Such a great
ties
story.
with Loosey now, too. Everything.
Yeah, it seems like I'm your good luck charm. Actually, you know what though? You're my good luck charm too, because when I did that gig with you, I remember you saying backstage, because I was hosting a little bit, you said, "You're really funny. You would be great on the show." And then I got on the show. So.
Yeah, I knew that you would. You're really funny. You do great characters. I remember. You're great at hosting, so I was like, okay, she's definitely great on the show. I mean, I've said the same thing about Shontelle, but we've yet to get her on yet. So
here we are.
Literally,
her work has been seen on the show very many times, though.
Yes, I'm very blessed. For people to really trust my art to wear it and all that. So. Super blessed.
You're outrageously talented. You might not be smart, but you're very talented.
Listen, I'm agreeing.
Yeah. Well, let's start with our first topic. We have different categories through this podcast. It's all very casual. Most of it's pop culture. And let's just begin with our first topic, which is, have you seen this drama on Twitter with Kim Chi and Eureka? It came up on...
Oh, yeah.
Delta's podcast recently, Eureka had brought it up, and I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. So apparently, um, Eureka lost her bags for a show, I think for the either Work the World or it was like Vegas Live or something. And she asked to borrow some costumes from Kim Chi, and Kim Chi told her that she didn't have anything in her size. And
Mm-hmm.
so Eureka got
Damn.
pretty offended. And so, what do we think about this? Like, first of all, would you allow another girl to borrow costumes if they lost their luggage?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Because that's happened to me before. I was doing a tour in Australia and my bags were lost. And I had to wear Jujubee's corset and Miss Cracker's boobs and James's wig, and it all came together. And like I mean, we have to be sisterly if I have something
Especially in
that is
moments
going to
like
fit
that.
someone else.
Yeah, especially in
Yeah,
moments like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it depends on who it is. To be honest, I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would let just anybody borrow my stuff. Let's be real. I mean, some people have body odor. They're not.
I was just gonna say, a lot of people who have not
Are you
seen
saying
drag
Eureka
queens
has it?
in live, they don't know the pungent smell that can come off of these girls sometimes.
Yeah, and also depends on what it is, girl. If you're needing a tucking panty, bitch, you don't want to use mine.
Oh,
Trust me, they are
bitch,
used. I have not washed them in forever.
no, ma'am.
So it
You can make a
depends.
lot of money selling those. You really should sell those to scary men on the internet.
I really should. They're disgusting. Yeah, so I think it depends on who it is. Like, I definitely would let both of you borrow costumes, but I guess it would depend on who it is.
Yeah, I
What do we
definitely
think
think
about
it.
this
I think
situation?
it would also just depend on like how they asked and who the person, like you said, who the person is, and then and if they smell and they take care of themselves. But I realistically think that like I would let them. I probably would let them borrow it regardless, just because like I wouldn't want to be in that situation. So
Right, yeah. I don't know
What
how,
do
I
we?
mean, with this, I don't know what year this was. I don't know what size each of them was at the time. So like, I mean, if Kim didn't have anything that fit, she didn't have anything that fit.
but
Um,
I mean, when did she realize that the bags didn't make it, or they got wherever they were? Because like, did she just figure it out and come to the show, or like, did she have time to go to the mall? Because she could
I'm.
have got grabbed something.
I don't know. It sounds as though she had no time. And like I can relate to Eureka in this situation. Literally a couple of days ago, I was in Chicago and I was supposed to go to the premiere of Death Becomes Her, the musical, and I was supposed to do the red carpet and all this stuff. American Airlines, which I hate.
Oh, girl.
Um, it was
oh,
the only flight that I
American.
could get
No,
in.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, awful. They lost all of my bags, and I ended up not being able to go to the premiere. And I didn't have time by the time I got to the hotel to get things
Oh.
together. So I can relate to that. But I guess it depends on was Kim Chi meaning this shady, or was she being for real that she didn't have anything her size? It sounds like or it sounds like Eureka was saying, "No, bitch, you're the same size, sweetie."
Yeah, well, because she said on Very Delta, she said, this was when Kim was in her I'm not a big girl phase, which that was pretty pointed. Um, but I mean, I'd love to hear Kim's take on it because Kim did tweet afterwards. She was like, Very Delta, can I be a guest on your next episode? So I hope that she goes on and like says her side of the story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
need this
mean,
tea.
that's interesting. A big girl being fat phobic is definitely interesting.
Mm,
Um,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah. Well,
It
let's move
happens.
on.
It happens.
Yeah, well, let's move on. Some of us would let girls borrow, some of us wouldn't. Um, I would love to hear from the fans. If you were in this situation, um, send me a message. Would you let someone that you're not best friends with borrow costumes? I would love to hear that. Next topic is George Santos. If you're
Oh,
not
what about
familiar,
her?
Lucy, you know who that is. I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming, and Chantel, I'm assuming you don't.
I do.
Um,
I do. Listen, she did her research. She looks like
okay,
Jan
uh,
Sport.
okay, all right. So George Santos obviously is infamous for being a liar and getting kicked out of uh, her position in government, and then now
Hmm.
she's having a comeback on Cameo in drag.
Yes, I heard about
Um,
that.
Yeah. Oh
what do we
God.
think about this? What do we think about them having? And I've seen a couple of other interviews that they've done. It's very camp. It's very like, and I'm not saying that in a good or a bad way. It's just her whole personality. They're him, whatever, is very camp with their approach to all of this. What do we think about them making money off of this character on Cameo and the people that are buying it?
I mean, I think it's disgusting.
I
I
was
think
gonna
it's
say I don't
absolutely
like it.
horrible. George Santos is one of the worst characters in the LGBT community, especially because this is a person who supports laws that would directly hurt the LGBT community and then is trying to make money off of doing drag, but like vehemently denies that trans people should have rights and thinks that drag queens should be nowhere near children because they're teaching them, all these sexualized things. I think that this is just like the death rattle of someone who had 15 minutes of fame and now it's on their
They're
way
trying to milk
out.
it.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
They seem like almost like a Perez Hilton in that it's like, what can I do to get back in people's mouths? What can I do to get my name back out there? It doesn't matter if it's outrageous. I just want attention. And I think that George needs to go away forever. I would love to never see their face again.
Well, they probably need money
I
too.
feel
So they're just
strongly.
they probably
Yeah, oh
need
yeah.
money. So they're just
Lip
milking it and
injections
trying
ain't
to do whatever they
free.
can.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they haven't been put in jail for fraud
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I'm really shocked that it just goes to show like normal citizens get thrown in jail for something so minute like as a
For having
joint.
pot or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and but these politicians can
They're
defraud
invincible.
the government and get away with it, and nothing happened to them.
Yeah.
I would be so interested to see if Trump even gets any jail time for all of this stuff that he's
Oh,
going through.
girl, you already know he ain't.
Yeah,
You already know.
but I would say, to be fair with this George Santos thing, I would love to see someone do George Santos on the Snatch Game because there's just so much material.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I just
Yeah,
especially
like
that's a
Jan.
really, really good.
Especially Jan.
Jan would. She ain't even gotta wear makeup. She would just have to put on nothing. Literally, show up with a boy hair.
Uh-huh. Or if Meatball was doing George Santos for a while too
Oh,
Was
was
in
it?
she?
LA. Yeah, so if Meatball ever were to get on, that would be a great Snatch Game. Although I almost like don't even want I just don't want the character of George Santos to even be in pop culture anymore. I just hate that person.
Yeah, I just feel like
Yeah.
what he's doing right now with all of the cameos, like this is just gonna add to the stardom, and he's just gonna get
Mhm.
bigger and bigger. It's just I don't know. I don't like it.
Did you see his interview on Z-Way?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, he's such a character. It's
He's disgusting. He didn't know who Harvey Milk was.
yeah.
Z-Way
Well,
said, "Do you know who Harvey Milk was?" And he had no idea.
this goes to show like that it really is all a show. I don't even know if he
Yeah.
necessarily believes in the things that he was promoting as a politician. I think that, like you said,
Absolutely not.
he's just a fame chaser. He's just wanting fame and money and doing whatever he
Yeah.
can. He obviously couldn't make it as a drag queen, so he's got to do the
Yeah.
polar opposite,
It's the same exact thing as Donald Trump. He will say whatever he needs to get votes, and that's what George Santos is doing. He's like just being a hateful faggot who also supports us is not that interesting, but being a hateful faggot who thinks that we shouldn't have rights
Yep.
is more interesting, and now we know his name. Sorry,
Well,
I just can't stand the guy.
No, listen. When you say faggot, I totally get what you mean because like that's when you know that they're shady. It's a faggot.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
Chantel,
Oh,
you just have to keep a lookout. You might be getting an order from G Santos for a
oh
wig
my
coming up.
God.
You better make another name, honey, and contact me because no, ma'am.
Well, that's the other thing. On these cameos, he's wearing hard fronts from Amazon. Not even with the little piece of lace in the part. Like hard front, $15 hard fronts.
Damn,
It's
not
like if
even
you're
a
gonna
hairline,
do it,
like a
at
teased
least.
hairline.
No, not even the old school tease, Caroline.
I live. Well, our next topic is kind of interesting to me. It's still on the politics, and it is Amber Rose endorsing. You know, Amber Rose is a feminist. She's a
Mm.
self-proclaimed feminist.
She's also an
Um,
atheist.
okay,
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
interesting, and she just endorsed Donald Trump, which is like a total like polar opposite. If you're a feminist, like why would you do that when he's a what do you call it,
A
uh
womanizer,
yeah,
a
Very much
sexual
that.
misogynist,
assaulter,
All
yeah,
the above,
misogynist,
A, B, C, D,
yeah.
E.
an
That's it.
what
abuser.
what do we think about this? Like, why do we think that she's went down this road of endorsing Trump?
I think it's for clout, to be honest. Because even when she was talking about being an atheist, like I don't really care what your religion is, what you believe in is, but the way that she's going about it, doing these interviews and talking about it stuff and everything openly to the people, it just seems like she's just wanting to get followers and stuff. Especially,
Hmm.
she just did that march for women's rights and stuff, and she's doing all these things for like equality, and then you say that, it's like it's like another celebrity like George Santos and like Trump saying whatever they can to get the followers. It seems like, I don't know. It just rubs me wrong. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to just be like a clout thing because now we're talking about her, and
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like, we're literally talking
that's
about
what
her.
she
So it's
wants.
like,
Yeah,
Well,
it's weird. It's a weird take to like I fully understand someone being like, listen, neither of them are a great option. I'm there with you, but to actually go out of your way to endorse Donald Trump as a woman is
well,
pretty shocking.
especially with the women's rights and like, she's talking about how she has some like a saying that's like my pussy, my choice or something. And it's like, Donald Trump literally talks about grabbing by the pussy and stuff. It don't make sense. It's just
Yes, yeah, he
weird.
recently in a speech basically implied that he will try to outlaw any sort of contraception.
yeah,
So it's like obviously it's
we're
not your
here,
choice.
bitch. We are here. This Um, we're here. There was something really recently released from Trump's team where he called um, something about they're coming together for the Reich, which is like a reference
Oh,
to
Nazi Germany.
not Nazi Germany.
Yep.
And that's not the first time that Trump's team has done that.
No, not at
Um,
all.
and I think Trump's family has ties to Nazi Germany. So we're really in a crazy political time more than ever.
It's all
You
over the
know,
place.
our choices, we have Donald Trump and then we have Joe Biden, which both are absolutely terrible options. Um,
Mm.
I wish there was our system is so broken. I wish there was a different option for us to choose from. There's got to be other politicians that would actually do what
Oh,
majority of, oh, this,
sorry,
this,
my
the
cute light
spotlight.
just went out.
At
Oh,
this point,
wow.
I want to
It's
choose
fine.
middle
I look
part.
fine.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to vote for him or this person. I want the other party that's in the middle. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
who is that though? Who is that? Like
I don't
what
know,
the
but I'm just
way that
over it.
our system is set up, it's like a two-party system. Even though we have like independents that can run, but
Yeah, that's what I'm
they
saying. An independent.
they would a what? An independent?
An
Is that what you?
independent. Sorry,
Oh, I
I'm
thought you
sitting
said.
here looking at your screen while it's like it's stuttering. It's like you going in and out. I'm like, what is going on here? And while I'm talking, I can't focus. But yes, I really think that we need an independent right now, especially someone that walks and lives the same shoes as everybody, like the American. Because these people they've been in the House for so long, or they've been a part of the government for so long that they don't know what it's like to have the real struggle. At least at this point in our lives, because like things have changed drastically. Like prices have
Yeah.
gone up, the price of living has gone up, and these people don't know what it's like. If anything, they just keep raising the prices, of everything, and then garnering the money and taking it and just living a comfortable life. You know what I'm saying? And it's just at this point, we need someone that is like around our age, if not even younger. Someone that is just willing to go in there and grab them by the pussy.
I don't think it's even just a president that's going to do that. That's only one of three tiers to the government that can get
Exactly, yeah.
anything done. We need an overhaul of the entire government.
We do. We need the Hunger
There.
Games, bitch. I keep
You know
saying
what we
this.
need? We need accountability. We need true accountability is what we need. We need true accountability to the actions that these people in government are either doing or not doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's not been much done for the American people in the positive in a long, long time.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's the type of thing where we need someone who is so extremely progressive that they just want to like take everything apart and redo it so that it is actually stuff that's being done for us. Because like right now, laws are being made based on who has money,
And
and
laws are
that is
being
the
made based
opposite.
off of things that don't even like really matter. They should be focusing on the more important things, So I get it. I totally am
Yeah.
with you.
Well, let's move on to another topic, which we're about to go into Pride Month soon. Um, what do we think about Target announcing they're downsizing their Pride merch, their Pride section of Target? Last year there was a huge controversy over Target and what they were offering for Pride because they always have been a big supporter of the LGBT community during Pride Month, and maybe that's just because they were trying to make money off of us or whatever it might be. But they had a huge section, and now they're really downsizing. They said, "What do we think about that?"
I don't understand why we're taking a step backward. Why are we doing that? As if, as a company, they chose to be very openly supportive of all of us and of Pride Month. And like, why on earth would you then go backwards? Because it seems like you're now taking something away. If they had never supported us to begin with, then, well, there's a lot of companies that don't support us. But why would you support us to begin with and then just like take it away? It's like the world is getting gayer. It's not the opposite.
Yeah.
For me, I just feel like because what I read, they were saying that they were getting like bomb threats and stuff, and like threats to the employees and stuff and things like that. So I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that's like, life comes first. Life's more important. So if certain places that are like in small towns that are putting these like things in the store and the people that go there are like uncomfortable, they're like, bitch, I'm gonna blow this bitch up, and they have to take stuff out, then I feel like is because they did say also that they're going to Pride events and they're like supporting it still and like obviously giving money to Pride corporations and things like that. So I mean, as long as they're supporting and they're still putting it in select stores like bigger cities and they're slowly progressing towards it, I think that that's still allowing change, But I do agree that if you're going to do it, why go backwards too? So it's a
But
double-edged sword.
you're saying they're gonna have it in bigger cities. That's great, but
Yeah,
there's queer people everywhere. There's queer
I
people
know.
in
Exactly. Yeah.
little towns, and having access or just visually seeing
Yeah.
that a company has Pride merch in their store, just it especially for like a young queer person, makes you feel seen. And
Absolutely.
I also think that if they're going to allow these extremist people to dictate what they do with their store, that's really what, and who knows if these people are really buying stuff, because we already know
Yeah.
that the gays go to Target.
Absolutely.
So,
We go where we
Oh my
don't even
God,
know
I
what we
go all
want,
the time.
bitch. We just go, we buy stuff. But it's
yeah.
scary.
Exactly.
Our world is scary right now. Like, people are dying over, people with guns and things like that. And it's really, really toxic and scary. So if they're pulling stuff out because of that, but they're still supporting, if things keep progressing and then they slowly keep adding things into the store, then awesome. But I don't know. It's a touchy situation.
Yeah.
It is touchy, but I think that, setting the precedent that if we get threats, we'll take it out.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then are we ever really going to progress? Because we're always going to get threats. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
I don't know. I don't love that. I don't love, and it's great if they are going to come to Pride celebrations and things like that. But like Trinity is saying, we need it in our small towns. We need it
We
in our
do.
stores because like
I grew up in a small
separate but
town.
equal is not equal. We need it everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I grew up in a small town too, and like I want my Target in my little hometown to have as much rainbow stuff as possible because
Yeah.
I know that when I was a kid, I didn't see that stuff. So I was like,
Right.
well, all right, well, let me stay in the closet for as long as I can.
Right.
And let me just state, I absolutely hate rainbow stuff. It's just rainbow in general. I don't like rainbows, but it's more of the fact of like now more than ever. Like I used to hate it. Like it used to literally make me cringe just
Do you
because I
think it
just
was
hate
because
it.
you were uncomfortable with like your sexuality and like your feminism and all that?
No, I think I think you meant femininity. Femininity.
Femininity. There we go. I can't even say
Not
it.
not
But you
feminism.
know what I'm saying. Like, do you think
Yeah,
it
I
was
know what you're saying.
because you were like
No,
still?
I don't think so. I just don't like rainbow stuff. I think it looks what gay came up with this? It's not it's so obnoxious looking. Like we couldn't have had a pretty flag. Like, but anyway, that's here nor there. Yeah, I think no that now more than ever though. I think we need that. Your little baby's so cute. What's your dog's name?
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is Rocco.
No.
Hi,
He's
Rocco.
he's a Yorkie Chihuahua, and he's the love of my life. I love him so
Oh
much.
my gosh, so cute. Well, I want to move on out of the political realm into something I hope we do more on this podcast, which is Am I the Asshole? This is like a
Oh, I
topic
love
that,
these.
yes, this is a topic we found. And I'm interested in this because it definitely ties into me with my friends. And this is, am I the asshole for asking my friend to help paint my apartment without offering to pay him? So I'm going to read this really quickly and then we'll discuss. So it says, when I was in my early 20s, it was commonplace for me and my friends to help each other paint rooms when we moved into a new place. Usually the ones whose room was getting painted bought their friend's beer, pizza, or something. But there was no other compensation expected. It was understood to be a favor, and we'd listen to music, have fun, and get the job done quicker. I'm now in my early 30s, and I have a large room I need to paint. I casually asked one of my friends to help me out one weekend, and they responded by scoffing and saying something about using them for free labor. I thought they were joking and then asked again, and they snapped at me saying it was messed up and I would not be doing it without offering pay, pointing out that it's a hard job and expensive to get professionals to do it. I was pretty shocked. If I had a free Saturday, I would totally help my friend paint a room and would not expect anything but maybe beer or dinner. Am I the asshole for expecting my friend to help me paint a room for free?
Absolutely, if you're expecting it. But if you ask somebody, and like for you, I would ask you, because you might be busy, you might be doing something. You know what I mean? But as a friend, I would do it. But expecting is rude.
Oh, the friend is absolutely the asshole. I think in this case, the person who's saying, "Oh God, I would never do that unless you're gonna pay me to do it." It's like, first of all, painting is not that hard. So if you're asking a friend to help you paint a wall, it's really not expecting that much. If I had someone come and help me paint a wall, I absolutely would buy them lunch or dinner or drinks or whatever. But to just like immediately say no because you're not going to get paid to do so is a little weird. This world is like cruel enough. We could help our friends paint a wall.
Yeah, I would definitely do it. Like, I'm the kind of friend, like, if
Yeah.
Trinity asked me, I would do it, because, like, I'm that friend where, like, if I'm your friend, I go to hell and back for you. But I also, like, would expect you to do the same. It's like rub each other's back, especially in this world, like you said. We're all struggling somehow, so any type of help would be appreciated. But I still think, like, if you go into the mindset of, like, expecting your friend to do something for you, that's still kind of, like, what would the word be? Like, I guess just be kind of asshole-ish, you know?
Mm.
I'm kind of split on this. I would need more context to this. If the friend, if that's their profession, if they paint houses or something like that for a living, that to me, that is, it's like Shontelle does hair. I would never, ever, ever ask Shontelle, and expect her to do all my hair for free.
Yeah, expecting is different. But you
Just,
do know that I would do it for you if you needed it.
yeah, but also it is source of income. And
Hmm.
so, your friends should want to support your business. So I would need more context on if this is their job or if they're just a friend. If they're just a friend and they have other income and this is just just truly a favor, yeah, I think you should help out your friend, obviously.
Yeah,
Maybe
for
they're not
sure.
such good friends after all.
It doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about Lucy. Um, Before we go into what you have going on now, one of my biggest takeaways from your season, you were on season 15,
Yes.
was um, I felt like the storyline that they gave you, and maybe not gave you, but that they followed a lot, was your drama with Lux and Mistress.
Hmm.
And the way it came across was that they bullied you and that they were mean to you. And it seemed like no matter what you did, you always had something thrown at you, for no reason. How
Hmm.
was that living in in that moment? Was it exactly how it played across on TV, or how did that come? How was that in your world?
It was really, really difficult. It was really, really difficult. I actually haven't even talked that much about this. Uh, it was hard. It was hard to be in an environment where I felt like someone made it their goal to devalue everything that I brought to the competition. Um, I will say I'm very good friends with Lux. I love Lux. She and I are very close. We're very supportive of each other. I see her in New York all the time. And we really only had the only issue that Lux and I had was when Rue asked us who should go home. Up until that point, though, Lux and I were very, very good friends, and we really make each other laugh. And I think that we have like a mutual, respect for each other, and especially now. Um, but yeah, it was hard. It was really hard on set to have everything that I did or said questioned. It almost felt like this really like long form game of sort of just torturing me because
Yeah.
it was like, how dare I be confident? How dare when someone asks me, how are you feeling? And I say, I feel great. I feel like I'm killing these challenges. Why did that have to be questioned? No, no matter what. That was really hard. And to be honest with you, it was actually worse in person. It was worse on set.
Oh
There were
God.
times when I was physically shut out of conversations and things towards the end. And it was really, really difficult. I do wish that the show hadn't made that my entire, focus when it actually in the edit of the show because it seemed like they tried to make it seem like I didn't get close to anybody and that everybody hated me. I got so close with so many people from the cast. I talked to almost everyone in the cast. I was really, really close with Sasha and Marsha and Selena and Jax, and they chose to not show me having any fun. And if you watch me in any other situation, all I do is joke and laugh and have a good time. And they chose not to use that. They chose not to use the footage that they have of Sasha and Anitra, who ended up being the top two, saying that I was their biggest competition. They chose not to
Mm.
use that.
Oh wow.
So what they chose to use was just, this one person who was needling at me over and over and over and over again, trying desperately to get this big reaction out of me when they knew that I was too kind of a person to just yell at them. So I wish I had taken a little bit less shit on set for sure.
Yeah, I thought you handled yourself very, very professionally. I don't know
Thank you.
if I was in that same situation, I would have reacted the same way you did. Like you were very put together.
Thank you.
I was very shocked at I was like, oh my God, she's really taking this and just moving on. I would not have been as kind. I don't think
She's a professional.
I would have probably got into major verbal altercations for sure.
It's
Um,
funny. Like I always, I went in with this sort of mantra of my kindness is my armor. It'll just sort of protect me from everything. I've since changed that, and it's still kindness is my armor, but take no shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I think what happened is because I let that keep happening, it just got worse and worse and worse because it was like, we need to get a reaction out of this girl. And then, they finally kind of broke me when we were just arguing over like the role in the Rusical and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, like, why is everybody just all of a sudden attacking me? And why am I being called fake every minute? And that really, really affected me quite a bit, having like, having someone say that I wasn't genuine when all I was doing was being genuine. I was the only one who was genuinely going, I should have won that. You know what I mean? Like, how much more genuine can I be by telling you exactly how I feel?
Yeah. And I think that is the best part of reality is, we want to see someone saying how they truly feel. That's part
Right.
of the beauty of reality TV. And sometimes it's going to be a little delusional, and that's part of
Oh,
also
yeah.
being a drag queen. I think, Lux is also one that was a little delusional, but in a totally fine way. She's a very confident, amazing drag artist. So of course
Yeah, she's incredible.
she's gonna think that she was the best as well. And I think also that was probably some of the conflict, is that you both were so confident, and that's just what it was.
Yeah, I think Lux and I are actually very similar in that we're really confident people. We really enjoy what we put out in the world, and we're very passionate about what we do. I just don't understand why my confidence was questioned so much.
I thought your drag when you first came into the episode. I told my boyfriend, I said, I like her drag. She's going to go far because you
Well,
just
thank you.
know as like a padded queen, you know how to proportion your body. Like Michelle said, you know your costumes, you know how to proportion. You have talent. You're outgoing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know why people were messing with you because maybe you were just so confident that people were like, let's get this bitch out.
I mean, that certainly was one of the things. I mean, the one who was really messing with me, her tune changed when I won a couple challenges that she wanted to win, and so it was just like, oh, okay, we've gotta poke at this person because how dare they be confident in win stuff that I wanted to win?
And
Yeah.
is that Mistress?
Yeah.
And are you guys close at all?
No, we don't talk at all.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's really important to remember that like as people on this earth, we get to choose the people who are around us.
Hmm.
She's not brought me a lot of positive thoughts, and so I just think the best thing for me to do is kind of keep my distance. And I think that she is someone who likes attention, and that's fine. We all like attention. That's why we do drag. But I, I'm not going to give in to this sort of constant call that she has out into the world to rile me up. I've heard from people that she talks about me quite a bit on her YouTube channel and things like that. I have nothing to do with her, and she's not been kind to me. So why would I have that person in my life?
I think this is an important lesson for the fans listening. Like, just because we're on TV together does not necessarily mean that we are best friends, and
And we're
that's
all playing
Not
okay.
patty
at
cake.
all.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Not all of us are going to be matches for that kind of thing, and
Well,
that
that's
is
why they put you
okay.
on the show. Everybody has a different personality. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Right.
not like we're all supposed to be sit here and hold hands and like kumbaya. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's hard, honestly. It's hard to talk about stuff like this because of the fandom, really. Because I can already my gears are already going. What's going to happen is people are going to watch this and they're going to say, "Oh my God, Lucy, get over it." And what it really is that I have gotten over it and I've moved on with it. The person who keeps bringing it up is the one who's not gotten over it, and so
Right.
it's no matter what I say or do, it's going to be picked apart by the fans, and that's really difficult. So it makes talking about stuff like this uncomfortable.
Well, I hope that the fans that are listening to this realize I am the one that brought it up. You did not bring it up.
Yep.
This is a question that I had, and I know I had the question because all the fans probably have the same questions.
Oh,
Hmm.
definitely, yeah.
And so if they're coming at you any kind of way, like, please do not. There's no reason to. I'm the one that was curious about that. And the reason why I asked is because I have the same. I had some of those same reactions and interactions with some of the people that
Drinking
I've been on
coffee every
cast with.
day didn't work for me.
So,
Sorry.
wow.
Listen, I got my notes pulled up. I'm watching and I'm doing my research.
Well, I want to move on to just you in general. Would you ever do All Stars?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think, it's funny when I was asked this question around this time last year, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I would definitely do All Stars because I think that now that I do drag full time, because I had a day job for many, many years. Now that I do drag full time, I'm like really exploring different sides to my drag, and I'm really
I can
melding
see
like
you've started going with more your edgy side, which I love.
I have, yeah. I used to keep Lucy and like my boy stuff very sort of separate, and I would say, oh, like Lucy wouldn't wear that, but I would. And now it's like, well, I'm in drag a lot of the time in my life,
Yeah.
so I might as well meld the two together. And it's been really fun to sort of explore that, and I want to show this new side to the audience, and I want to do the show again with a little bit more knowledge about how reality TV works.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I think
I feel
that
like
is
I'd be the same
important.
way. I'm probably going to go in, and if I got on, I'd probably be the same way. And then I'd watch myself and I'd be like, okay, now I know how this works.
Yeah. I will say that's one thing about Mistress and Lux that I give them so much credit for. Those girls are so smart when it comes to reality TV. Like I can look back and go, oh, they knew in real time how the
This was going to be
producers were going
edited.
to use and I never saw any of that. Like
Yeah.
I just said what I felt. And they're so smart with that kind of stuff. So I hope that I gained a little bit of that knowledge for the next time I do a TV show.
And have either of you been watching the last two episodes of All Stars 9 or even seen the cast? Like you're familiar?
Yes. Yes.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched the episodes yet. I haven't had a chance to, but I've seen all the promo materials and everything, and the girls are really killing it look
They're
wise.
making us all feel like money is needed to do drag races. And
Very that. Very
Well,
that.
who are you guys rooting for? Just without like any spoilers of the episodes, but just in general of seeing the cast and their promos. Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Georges because I just love her and I think that she's an incredible artist and I very openly have a crush on her. So, Georges.
Oh, you want a kai with Miss Georges, and she probably would let you
Okay, good. Good to know.
get a little blunt together.
Her and Sasha are very similar in that way. If you ever want to find Sasha, you just find some weed and she'll sniff it out.
I love Gottmik's drag. Her drag is just so fierce.
She's incredible.
That's who you're rooting for. I just have to go with Roxy. She's just very my kind of drag. I feel like she's
I was
really
rooting for her, but when I saw the looks that she was bringing, I was like, it's not giving.
oh, it's not giving. Oh, okay.
It's not giving like the evolved version of Roxy. That's what I mean. Like it's everything and it's great, but like compared to what you expect the girls to bring for All Stars, I was not like getting what the evolved version was.
To me, I don't think there's going to be any way to compare the rest of the cast to Gottmik and Plastique. They spent so much money on their package.
That is true. Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard that Plastique spent like $250,000 on her package.
That's insane.
And I don't know if that's true. That's just what I heard. And looking at her outfit,
Oh my God.
it definitely looks that way. So I don't know that we can
wild.
compare anyone to them because package wise. Now
That's a good way to look at it.
I want to see how the rest of the season goes. It's a strong cast, and they're doing it for charity, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I would love if every All Stars season were like that. I think that is so cool, and it's a great way for the show to give back to different, charities and things.
I like also that now everybody's going home, so everybody gets a chance to like shine in their own way and show the personalities that they have and their growth and stuff. Because when you come back as an All-Star and they are sending people home, everything that you've worked for after the show, I feel like if they send you home and they edit you in a bad way, you're like, well, fuck, everything that I've done is just going to be portrayed to the fans now like I'm a shitty turd.
A shitty turd.
And they're just gonna be like,
As opposed to,
cancel her.
I don't think she got a shitty turd is like is the same thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
But a shitty turd is like when you take a big shit and it's like, oh, that's a shitty turd.
Oh, okay. I don't
Oh
poop,
God.
so I don't
Same. Same.
I don't physically poop, so I have no idea. Let's move on to we have two more topics to talk about. The next one is a little bit more personal, and it's back in the day, gay. So we want to know, like, Loosey, when did you know that you were queer? Like, what life event or what happened in your past when you like first knew, oh my God, I like guys, or oh my God, I'm gay?
I'm not sure if I remember exactly the moment that I realized that I was like attracted to boys, but I do know that like as early as nursery school,
Mm.
when I was like 4,
Oh, wow.
I know that so this was, early 90s. In the playroom in my nursery school, there was like boys' toys were on this side of the room and the girls' toys were on this side of the room. And I was always on the side of the girls' toys. And it wasn't even for the toys. I actually just think it was because I liked the girls, because I just got along with the girls better and had more fun with them. But I definitely remember like thinking that Aladdin was pretty cute.
Oh,
Even though,
your first crush.
oh, absolutely 100% Aladdin. And if you look at my dating history, it really, really tracks.
I live.
Work.
Yeah, I only date guys who wear a vest and have a pet monkey. That's it. Like, that's my type.
I live. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Shontelle,
Yeah.
since this is your first episode, Shontelle, why don't you go ahead and tell the fans what yours was? What was your first moment
Well,
of
first
realization?
off, my obsession was the Little Mermaid. So, like, as a kid, I was always begging my mom to like take me to the mall to go to like the toy store and get the latest version of Ariel. So, like, I think my mom always knew that I was gay, but she was in denial. And I formed my first crush probably in like K through 5, maybe like second or third grade. And I remember looking at people and being like, why do I think this boy is cute? Like, he's cute. But then, like, I didn't want to, like, actually say it out loud or act on it. And like you were, I was always friends with all the girls all the way up
Hmm.
until, like, middle school. And everybody was like, he always hangs out with girls. Like, he's definitely gay. But, like, I just was in denial. But I had my first crush when I was in, like, second or third grade and always had a mermaid doll. I
Wow.
always played with dolls. Like, my grandma, she always had all the collector dolls. And when I would go to her house, I would always play with the Barbie dolls and play with the toys that were all like Barbies. And I remember my favorite doll was the long-haired mermaid. She's a collector now, but she has like the long hair, and her tail. They had 3 of them. There was a gold one, there was a blue one, and I think there was a pink one. And I always loved the gold one. And I just like, everybody knew I was gay. I wound up coming out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, and my mom told me, she said,
Wow.
she's like, I told her I was bisexual at first.
Of
And,
course.
just because I wanted to like ease onto her. But then she was like, you're joking. You're joking with me. And I was like, no, I'm bisexual. And then later it wound up getting so bad because like, I was like, I still felt like I was constricted and not being able to come out and be myself fully, that I told my mom, I was like, listen, I sat her down. I just told her, I was like, listen, I'm fucking gay. And like, if you can't take this, then I don't know what to tell you. And we had this big falling out. I ran away. My mom picked me up in the truck, and like I went to the park. It was just like this big ordeal. But I wound up
Wow.
coming out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, and it's just my whole life has been like, it's been a huge bumpy ride with my parents. But we're very close. But lately we're not. So it's a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I want to move on to the last topic, which is just something fun. You don't have to go into too much detail, but it's called I Call Shade. And we just tell a quick story or name someone who has been either shady to you, that you've been shady to, or you've seen publicly that has been shady. Shontelle, let's start with you.
Well, I was trying to think of it because I was like, well, you're always shady to me, bitch. You always drag me. So let's start with that, bitch. But no, I actually pay this kid since spring summer's been coming around. This kid comes into my neighborhood, and he saw me and Ethan get out of the car, and he's like, "Hey, can I mow your grass for like $25?" And our yard is like huge. We ended up settling with a big yard, and he's like, "Can I mow?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll pay you $25." Well, he came, he mowed it, came again, mowed it. And then the third time he comes and he's like, "Can I mow your grass and like maybe pick up some stuff in the backyard?" I said, "Yeah, I'll pay you like $75." He did like half of it. And he's like, "Hey, it's getting dark. Let me come back tomorrow." That bitch never came back. He took my $75 and never came back. And I
Oh, you
messaged.
gave him the $75 after the first day?
Well, the third time he came and he started, I
Ah,
was like, "I'll just pay you now." Because like, you know, I'll go into the house and I'll do some stuff. And I'm like, "When you're done, you know, you can just leave." Well, he did not finish his work, and he took the $75 and he was like, "Hey, I'll come back tomorrow." Never did.
Yeah, I call shade.
And
I
he
call
followed me.
shade.
wow.
He followed me on Instagram, so he knew that I did drag. And this kid was like maybe he had been like 17, 16.
Well, don't follow him back, bitch. He can stay away from that
Right? He's gonna be like, "You're a groomer, bitch."
one.
No, but seriously, he followed me, and I messaged him. I said, "Hey, are you gonna come back and do this?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come back tomorrow." Never did, bitch. He got that
Wow.
$75 was definitely worth it. So
Wow.
that
Damn.
happened, and then also Ethan told me to bring this up. He said, "Tell her about how we made this costume for you to wear at the prelim, and it ended up not fitting." So that was kind of shady.
Oh, the costume had
Me
shaded
gaining,
you.
no, the weight gaining is shady. Girl, you know when I put on my
Well,
drag today or the other night, I looked at myself and said, "Ooh, back rolls."
I was gonna say, it was the costume named Kim Chi.
No, you just trying, girl.
What about you,
Oh
Lucy?
my God. Well, I'm having a very public feud right now with the lesbian who does the custom framing at my Joanne Fabrics.
Ooh.
This bitch has another thing coming. I believe her name is Jill. And her being a lesbian has nothing to do with this. I love lesbians and they love me. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to paint a picture for you. This motherfucker said I brought this really awesome vintage movie poster, vintage horror movie poster. I'm really into horror movies, and I found this awesome vintage poster in a shop in Pennsylvania, and I brought it to her, and she said, "Okay, it's going to be 68% off. We're running a special." I was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I said, "Okay, it's going to be $300, and it's going to take 3 weeks." And I was like, "Okay, how much is it with the 68% off?" And she said, "Oh, that's with the 68% off." I was like, "It's $300 for
Oh my
68%
god.
off?" Anyways, I was like, "Well, I'm here and I'm giving, I don't know how much custom framing costs or whatever." So I call her after 3 weeks and she's like, "Hello?" And I was like, "Hi, Jill. This is, the fag calling about the horror movie poster." And she said, "Oh yeah, I don't have the supplies for that yet. So it's going to be another couple of weeks." And I was like, "What?" And my gay ass literally went, "Another couple of weeks?" And I called her every week for 3 more weeks, and she had not even started it yet. This is the most uninteresting story to ever tell on a podcast. But listen, Jill, if you are listening, you got another thing coming, okay? And I don't want to sound like a Karen. I don't want her to get fired. I don't want her to lose her job, even though she's going to, because Joanne Fabrics filed for
I
bankruptcy.
was about to say she's
But
going out of business, bitch.
yes, exactly. But I ended up having to go and get it back and get a refund and bring it somewhere else.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh! Well, did you end up getting it
Yes.
framed?
I did end up getting it framed. Actually, I have it right back there. It looks amazing. It
And
looks great.
is it like horror themed?
Yes, it's really, really. I can show it to you if you want.
I want to
Yeah,
see. I
show
love
it.
horror
It's really
movies.
cool. And you know what? This honestly was just a lesson that I should have shopped small right from the beginning, because I
And
went to a small
how
shop.
expensive was this? How expensive was this to get framed?
It was the same price.
Ooh.
Wow! Oh,
Isn't
that's
this
very cool.
I
cool?
love
Very
classic horror.
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So
Very
yeah,
cool.
the lesbian who does the custom framing at my local Joanne Fabrics, I've had it with you, and I call shade.
I
What's
call
your
shade.
favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie is Friday the 13th, the whole series. I'm like a huge freak when it comes to Friday the 13th. That's why I did a Jason look
I saw,
on the
yes.
show. Yeah, one of my all-time favorites.
Well,
All
All I
three
watch
of
is
us
horror
love.
movies.
you do like a lot of like edgy looks besides like your classic drag looks. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that.
Great.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to have you make me something.
Yeah,
Chantel
definitely.
does all
Hopefully
that
it
kind of
fits.
stuff.
My favorite, right?
I call shade. I call shade.
No, my favorite horror movie franchise is the Freddy Krueger franchise. I love it
Okay. Nightmare on
because
Elm
I like
Street.
that
Fred,
it's Nightmare on Elm Street. I like it because it's like it's kind of campy. You know,
Oh, so
it started
campy.
bringing
Yeah.
in that camp horror, but also like really scary. As a kid, that shit scared the hell out of me. Especially when Johnny Depp got swallowed in the bed and then spewed blood all over the ceiling. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm never
Him
sleeping
on his
again.
bed in a little crop
In a
top.
crop
Loved
top.
that. Loved that.
Yes.
yeah, you knew you were gay then. My favorite series is the Night of the Living Dead, the Day of the Deads, all of those from like the
Yes.
80s.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one
Loved
with the
all that.
girl that has the glass in her face?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
That's Return of the Living Dead, which is all in the same family.
Return of the
So
Living
I
Dead is
love that
so
movie.
good.
love it
So
all.
good.
Love it
So
all.
campy. So 80s too.
So
Yeah.
I want to say my I call shade moment, and I had a different one, but once I put this shirt on, I was like, "Oh, bitch, I call shade." Look at this.
What is it?
The pattern is off.
Oh!
Girl, I got
Where did you get that from?
I got this for $6 on Sheen, and girl,
Well.
the pattern is literally over here. Like I call shade. Who they gypped me for $6, girl. They
don't
couldn't
get it.
even. Girl, the
It's
pattern
off
should be.
center.
Yeah, the pattern should be here. It's literally
Oh.
there.
Okay, you're not
It's
centered in the camera, so I can only see your shoulder.
oh,
Oh, bitch.
girl,
Yeah, now
it's
I
like
can see
way
it.
over there. I mean, it looks like a sewing challenge gone wrong, honey.
Did you see that picture of Sheen that got released where it looked like a picture of their warehouse and how they pack?
Oh, yeah, they were just throwing stuff
Yeah.
on a
It's
conveyor
like
belt.
it's like a huge thing, and people are just throwing, and they're just like,
Okay.
it's crazy how it looks.
That is crazy. Well, I appreciate you both being on today's podcast. I felt this was so fun. I hope you both had fun, and thank you for listening. I will do the. I don't know where we're going to release this video. We've still got to figure this out. I think it might be on my Patreon, but I'll link all of that information for this. Thank you both. Until next time, have a great day.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.